the country on the border with Ecuador. An old dispute is still simmering. Few Americans know it, but U.S. troops are there to keep the peace. ABC's Richard Gisbert is there, too.
It's a low-profile mission, U.S. soldiers on duty in the rainforest. Their job is to fly up and down a spectacular valley, ensuring from the air that there is peace on the ground.
If you look outside in the valley, it's absolutely beautiful. Some of the most breathtaking flying that you can ever do with the waterfalls and the atmosphere, but it's very deceiving.
Deceiving in that the territory is much more dangerous than it looks.
The primary danger for the Americans in the demilitarized zone comes from landmines. They estimate there are more than 100,000 of them around here. That's one reason they do most of their patrolling from the air.
The mines are the lethal remnants of the border war Peru and Ecuador waged here 2 years ago. About 100 people were killed fighting over land that's been in dispute for a century and a half.
Okay, today's mission.
U.S. involvement here goes back 55 years. In 1942, the U.S. signed the Rio Protocol, a peace deal it helped broker between the two countries. The U.S. now shares peacekeeping duties in the demilitarized zone. The U.S. Army says the mission costs Americans nothing. Peru and Ecuador pay the bill. The U.S. provides most of the people, about 80, and the helicopters that ferry the military observers into the disputed territory. Most Americans are unaware of this mission, the Army says, because it's small and it's had no casualties.
Things can happen, there could be some fighting, but again, that's part of our job here, is to make sure that that either doesn't happen, or if it does, we're there to see it so we can report it accurately.
The worst thing about this assignment is the isolation. It's a 6-month posting, and all new American arrivals are advised to stick to base.
You never know what's out there, so don't go out. It's off limits. It's off limits to everybody here.
To pass the time, there's a weight room under a roof that's straight out of Gilligan's Island. And a new, morale-boosting, 67-channel satellite television system. But all comforts aside, the U.S. soldiers feel they're accomplishing something here, especially when they fly into the demilitarized zone and encounter local villagers.
But the main thing is the country's not at war, and the people that you saw today out there are not caught in the middle of it.
That makes this a rewarding mission, even if to most of the folks back home, these Americans are the unknown soldiers of the rainforest. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, on the Peruvian-Ecuadorian border.